Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Miriam and I am here to teach you today about how to make a zipper pouch. I did a little research and I was looking around and I didn't see any that looked quite like the ones that I've made. I've been making them for years and several years ago I did several craft shows and I made these zipper pouches and they sold and they got a lot of attention, and I think they're really cute. They can be used for all kinds of things. You can use it for a makeup bag, for storing art supplies, sewing supplies. I personally, this is the one that I use, cute banana fabric, and this is full of my washi tape and highlighters because I am a planner nerd. I'm going to show you how to make this. It's a nice boxy zipper pouch. It's really cute, super simple. This is a fantastic beginner sewing project. So if you just stumbled upon this video and you're like, I'm not quite sure if I can quilt something or sew something together, this is an excellent way to dip your toes into sewing and quilting, because if you look closely, it is quilted. We use some really pretty straight line quilting, and I'm going to show you how to make this from start to finish today. So this will be a slightly longer video, but it's going to be packed full of a lot of really good information and stuff. So without further ado, let's get over to my cutting mat and the flat lay, and I will show you the fabrics that you'll need for this. I will also, in the description box below, I'll put the fabric requirements and other tools that you might need to make this cute little pouch. So let's hop on over there and we'll get started. All right, we are at my cutting mat now, and we are going to cut our fabric for our zipper pouch. You're going to need 3 fabrics for this zipper pouch. You need 2 contrasting colors or fabrics for the outside. So like on this one, I had 2 different banana fabrics, very cute. And then the inside, you need another fabric. So for this one, I used, it's a canvas, and canvas works really well for the inside of zipper pouches since it's durable, but you don't really see it. So you can pick whatever you want. I'm gonna be using quilting fabric for all 3 of the fabrics today. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the super cute fabric I am using for this zipper pouch. I found this adorable avocado toast fabric. This was a fat quarter at Joann's, and this is so cute. I love it. Avocado toast is delicious. Don't knock it till you try it. Okay. We are going to use that, and then I'm just using a coordinating very dark forest green for the coordinating fabric. And then for the inside, I picked this kind of pale yellow that kind of matches the fried egg yellow. So I'm going to use that. And then you also need a zipper. Now, when choosing a zipper, we're going to need a zipper that's at least 9.5 or 10 inches long. Make sure that you're using a plastic zipper. So I have this, we'll cut that down later, but that's just a brown that'll match really well with everything else. So fabric requirements for this zipper pouch. We are going to need to cut 6 2.5 by 9.5 inch strips from our avocado fabric, or our main fabric. And then our contrasting fabric, we need 4 2.5 by 9.5 strips. I will be including this information down in the description box, so don't worry, you will have that information for you. So I'm gonna go ahead quickly and cut that. Oh, we also need, from the inside fabric, we need 2 9.5 squares, 9.5 inch squares. So I will also cut those. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that and kind of speed up the cutting process so we can get into actually sewing. Okay, now we have our fabric cut. So I've got my 2 squares for the inside of the zipper pouch. Now we need to figure out our layout for our pieces. So we're going to start with the main fabric. We're going to lay that out. And then we grab one of our contrasting fabrics. And then another one of these. Contrasting. And you just do every other piece. And that's our layout for one side of the zipper pouch. So we're going to sew all of these together along the long edge of the blocks. I will take these over to the sewing machine. I'm going to stack them in the order that we're going to be sewing them together. So this is piece number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we're at the sewing machine and we are going to sew our strips together. So I'm going to take piece number 1, and then I'm going to take piece number 2 and put it right sides together, just like that. Line up the edges, and then we're going to sew the pieces together. We're going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and here we go. All right, and then we're going to open that up, and we're going to take the next piece and place it right sides together, and then sew that. All right, now we have that. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with the remaining strips to create our second side of the zipper pouch. Now we're going to take these over to our ironing board, and I'm going to press the seams all going one way. So I'm just going to press the seams so they're all going that way on each one of them. It doesn't really matter which direction you're going to be going, because our next step is to quilt. I have got both of my sides of the zipper pouch sewn together, and then I just have all of the seams pointing in one direction. That just kind of helps it lay nice and flat for the quilting process. I have a scrap piece of batting here from another project, so I'm going to use this as my lining for my zipper pouch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this on top of here like that. And I want my batting to be a little bit larger than my little mini quilt top here. That's just going to ensure that if the quilt top shifts a little bit, it's still going to have batting behind it. So I've got it where it's about an extra 1/2 inch on every side, and I'm going to cut that. So I'm just going to use this as a guide. We're just going to have a 1/2 inch. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's just good to have extra batting, just in case. So there's one. I'll do a quick measurement so you know what size to cut. So this is about 10.5 by 12 inches. So I'm just going to cut another one. I'm going to use this one as a guide. And then I'm just going to cut. So we need one for each side of the zipper pouch. then I just set that aside, but I don't throw it away because you can sew batting together to create Franken batting is what they call it. All right, so we have our 2 pieces of batting, and I'm just gonna place one of our little zipper pouch sides on each one, smooth it out with my hands. You can pin it in place if you would like. I'll actually do that real quick here so you can see how to do that. So I'm going to take each one, just place it in there in this, about in the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure that you have plenty of extra batting on all 4 sides. I like to pin baste. So when you pin baste, I just use regular safety pins, just like that. They also make safety pins that are specific for quilt basting that have a curve in it that makes it a little easier, but these work fine for me, especially for a small project like this. So I'm just going to take my pin, and whenever I pin baste, no matter what size the quilt project is, I always start in the center. So I place a pin, get it in there, and then I smooth out from the pin so the fabric's laying super smooth on the batting. That's very important. And then I'm just gonna place a few more here just so it stays in place. I've seen some people pin baste and they are placing a pin, it seems like every 3 inches, which if that works, then great, that's what you should do. For me, that seems like a little bit of overkill. I've never really had a problem with having the quilt shift the way that I pin, so. But if you want all those pins in there, then that is the best way for you to do it. There are no rules with pin basting. All right, so I just placed 5 there. So you can see. So then I'm just gonna do the same thing with this one. You could also glue base if you'd rather use glue. I've tried spray basting before. I do not like spray or I don't like basting spray. Yeah, it smells too toxic. I got a really terrible headache when I tried using it, and I was outside using it. So I was in a well-ventilated area, okay? I am just very sensitive to chemical-y smells, so I use Elmer's glue. And that is non-toxic. It's easy to wash out, and it works great for glue basting. I'm planning on doing an entire video just explaining my process and the pros and cons of using Elmer's glue and the best way to use it and that sort of thing. So if that's something you'd be interested in, go ahead and click the subscribe button, and I will be posting that video pretty soon here. But all right, so these are all pinned and they are ready for me to mark to quilt. So I'm gonna do the same quilting as I did on here because I just really love that look. It looks so modern and clean and professional, and it's super easy to do, so why not do it, right? So I am going to grab my long ruler here, as I'm trying not to throw all of my stuff on the floor. All right, so I'm gonna grab my long ruler. I'm gonna set one of these aside. And to mark this, I'm gonna use my long ruler and a hero marker. I love the hero marker. This is such a great tool. I think every quilter should have one, really. They're so great for marking because it's not actually making a permanent mark. What it does is it just makes a crease on the fabric, which, you know, quickly washes out. You can press it out. It's a really great way to do any marking. So the way that I'm going to mark this is I'm going to kind of turn this diagonally so I can see it a little easier. And then I'm going to line up the edge of my ruler with one corner, and then I'm going to go diagonal with the other corner. So I'm lined up right here and right here, exactly in the center. And I'm going to take my hero marker and I'm just going to press. You don't have to press very hard, but I'm going to press down. Gotta hop over those pins. And then I've got a really nice line marked in there. I don't even know if the camera is picking that up, but trust me, there is a line that goes from here all the way across. And I'm just going to keep on doing that. I'm going to do it in 1-inch increments. So I'm going to line up my 1-inch line with the line that I just made. And I'm going to do another line. There we go. And then I'm just going to continue doing that in 1-inch increments till the entire thing is marked. And we're going to do all of the lines going this way first, and then we're going to stitch them, and then we'll come back and mark the lines going perpendicular to those first lines that we marked. So I'm just gonna do this and do a little fast forward action. I'm also gonna mark the other one so we can do them at the same time, so we can stitch them at the same time. We are ready to quilt. So I've got my little zipper pouch cover over here, and I am just going to follow the lines that I marked on here with the needle. So I'm just going to line the needle up right with that first line that I marked. And whenever you're quilting, you want to start in the center and then work your way out from there. So that's going to help keep the fabric straight on the batting, and then you'll avoid making any kind of puckers or creases that you don't want to with the stitches. So I'm going to start up here and I'm just going to do a straight line. Let's see how that goes. Make sure you remove your pin. You do not want to quilt over a safety pin. That would not be good. And you can go as slow or as fast as you want to. I can have my needle go pretty quickly because I've just done this so much, but if you need to go slower, go slower. It's a very therapeutic process, quilting, and it should be fun, not stressful. So if going too fast is stressful, don't do it. Notice when I'm quilting, I put my hands on either side of the needle. That's just helping the fabric lay flat. I'm not pulling the fabric. I'm just holding it flat with my hands. So you don't want to pull, because then it will create an unnecessary stretch in the fabric. So you don't want to do that. So I just kind of hold my hands on either side of the needle just to guide the fabric through and to keep it straight on that line. There we have our first quilted stitch. Pretty nice. So now I'm just going to continue that process over the entire thing, and I'll also do the second side of the zipper. I'm going to repeat the process of marking and stitching to complete the crisscross straight line quilting. So you can sit back and watch, enjoy the slow jazz music that I've chosen, and enjoy watching this next part. Hopefully it goes quickly. My bobbin ran out, and as you can see, I just realized that also my spool of thread is almost out, so I need to change this out really quick. Hold on a second. Oh, my bobbin's not out. There still is thread in there. But this is acting all kinds of crazy, so we're gonna take this down. Switch around. This happens. I like to use 100% cotton for all of my quilting projects. I buy these Coats and Clark's spools. I've actually found them cheaper at Walmart, so I stock up whenever I spot them at a Walmart. If I'm there, I grab a few spools because it's significantly cheaper at Walmart. I think it's only like $5 for a spool or something, and this is really good quality thread. So I'm just gonna thread my machine back up real quick here. What do you like to listen to while you sew? I'm personally a show tunes girl. I love Broadway, I love musicals, so a lot of times I will listen to a cast recording of, you know, a musical that I'm enjoying at the moment. So what do you like to listen to? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be really interested to hear what other people listen to. I know several quilters also enjoy listening to crime documentaries, which I too enjoy listening to some true crime stuff, but I can't listen to too much of it because then it just gets very upsetting. So then I switch over to my show tunes, right? Oh my goodness. Just gonna throw my bobbin back in there. All right, we're back in business. Where did I leave off? Where am I? Oh, I see. All right, back to it. Now we're going to start constructing our little zipper pouch. So let's do that, huh? First things first, we need to trim down all of this excess batting from our little quilted zipper pouch sides. So I'm going to do that here real quick. I'm just gonna line up. The way that I square up something after I've quilted is I use the lines on the ruler. So this line is gonna line up with the edges of these blocks. And then I'm just gonna cut a straight line across here. And then I flip my ruler, and then I use the printed lines on the ruler. I line them up with that straight line that I just cut to trim off that side. rotate, and I just keep doing that till I have trimmed off all the excess batting. See, there's one all trimmed up. Very cute. That's what the back looks like. The batting's all quilted. So pretty. So pretty. Now we need to trim our zipper down. So I want my zipper to be the same width as my zipper pouch side, which is 9.5 inches wide. So I am going to line this up. Let me get this a little closer to the camera so you can see. I'm going to line this up with, actually this is going to be the top of the zipper pouch. So I'm going to line this up with the top right there. I'm going to stretch it across just like that. So that's where I want to cut, right there. So I'm just going to hold my finger right there. I'm going to get my scissors and we are just going to snip right across. And it should be fairly easy to cut if it's a plastic zipper. See, and then that just goes in the trash. Don't use that. So now we've got our zipper, but before we sew this in, we need to finish off this end, because if you were to just leave it like this, it could come undone. I'm not going to do it because then it would be very difficult to get those little teeth back together, but I'm just going to sew a straight line across here a lot with my sewing machine to make sure that those little teeth are held together. So let's do that really quick here. I'm going to turn. So here I'm on the top of the zipper. I'm just going to line it up about 1/4 of an inch from the end of the zipper. And then we're just going to sew back and forth, reverse stitch, back stitch, forward stitch, back stitch, forward stitch. Okay, and then that's what it'll look like. And then those little teeth are secure. I am pulling pretty hard. See, it comes undone, but once it hits those stitches, they are in place. So that is good. So now our zipper is ready to be added in. So let's do that, shall we? Okay, now we want to add our zipper to our zipper pouch. This is a lot easier than you may think adding a zipper is. It's really not that complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our zipper pouch sides and we're going to lay it down here. I'll angle this so you can see a little bit better. So this is going to be the top of the zipper pouch. So I have our zipper and I'm going to place the zipper face down on the right side of our pouch. Then we are going to take one of our inside pieces and we're going to place it on top. And I'm going to clip those in place. Just to hold the zipper in place when we take it to the sewing machine. So, and then if you are using a fabric that is not just a solid fabric, if you're using a print, you want to place it, let's see, we want that right side down. So the order would be the outside of the zipper top or the zipper pouch, right side facing up, then the zipper itself is facing down, and so is the inside of the fabric. The inside fabric will be facing right side down. So I hope that made sense, but that is important for when you want to turn the pouch inside, right side out and everything. So that's the order that you place them in. Now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch about 1/4 of an inch from that top edge. For this step, you can use a zipper foot. That helps. It makes it a little bit easier to stitch the zipper. This sewing machine didn't come with a zipper attachment or zipper foot attachment, so I'm just using my 1/4 inch foot, but it should be fine. We just gotta move the actual zipper head a little bit. So I'm gonna first take this first clip out and I'm going to check to make sure that my fabric and my zipper are still lined up perfectly, which they are. And I'm actually going to move the zipper head. So this is the zipper head, the actual little pulley. So I'm gonna unzip that a little bit just so it's kind of out of the way. And then I'm gonna lay this side of the zipper down. And then I'm gonna place this on top, the inside fabric on top. Then I'm gonna move it over to my sewing machine. And I'm gonna stitch and back stitch and stitch forward again. And then I'm gonna make sure that those edges are all lined up as I'm stitching. You wanna take this part nice and slow because you want a really straight line stitch. So once you reach the zipper head, you're going to want to lift your foot up and then come in through over here. And I'm going to zip the zipper head back down so it's out of the way. And this is where a zipper foot comes in handy because the foot does not get in the way when you're trying to zip it. There we go. Just got to move it around a little bit. But if you leave your needle down while you're doing that, it will stay in the right position and nothing will get messed up. So definitely make sure to leave your needle down while stitching your zipper into place. So now I'm just going to make sure that that zipper is still, that edge of the zipper is lined up with the edge of our fabric. And I'm going to put my presser foot down again, and then I'm going to stitch up. Take out my clip. I just like to double check that everything is lined up. And then make sure you back stitch there. I like to back stitch quite a bit just because I want it to be very sturdy on that zipper. So now, when you open it, you see that we have one side of our zipper pouch done. So then you want to flip it so it's like this. So our zipper is up, our outside is here, and our inside is here. And then I'm gonna do a top stitch to really hold that in place, and it makes it look a little nicer. So I'm going to make sure everything's laying nice and flat. You want to give that inside fabric a little tug down here so it doesn't get a little pucker in it when you do the top stitch. And then just do top stitch. Top stitch is when you stitch about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. So I'm doing 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the quilted zipper outside part. So here we go. There's our nice little top stitch. It looks so good. So we've got half of the zipper is installed. So now we just need, oh, this is what it looks like on the back. Top stitched. So cute. So nice. So perfect. Right? So now I'm going to get my, I'm actually just going to grab those and do that over here. My other zipper pouch side and my other inside piece. So, whoop! My chair almost rolled away with me. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same layout as this first part. So I'm going to take my zipper pouch. This is going to be my top edge up here. Up here is my top edge. So then I take, whoops, the zipper. And on this step, let's go ahead and unzip the zipper about halfway. Then we are going to place the zipper face down, right? Just gonna line up those edges. Beautiful. So it's laying flat. Let's see. And then I'm going to take my inside piece and I'm gonna lay it right side down. Just line it up there. I'm just gonna get my clips real quick to hold it in place. See, so zippers aren't that scary. You just gotta take it one step at a time and take it nice and slow. I remember when I first tried a zipper, I just thought, oh no, I'm never gonna be able to do this. But then when I just kind of took it one step at a time, it was actually quite easy and really fun to put in. I felt very accomplished after I did that. All right, so now we're just going to stitch this down. I'm gonna just make sure that everything's lined up properly. And then we're gonna do some back stitches here to make sure it stays in place. Make sure everything's still lined up good. We're getting close to that zipper head. I'm gonna go ahead and move it. Just kind of, oh, that time was much easier. Okay, and my needle was down, so it held everything in place the way it should. Make sure everything's straight. Make sure that those edges are lined up and continue stitching. And make sure to do those back stitches. All right. Now we unfold just like before. And we're gonna have our zipper pouch on the outside. And the inside, let's see. All right. Now I want a top stitch. I'm gonna close the zipper now. Hold it in place a little bit better. We're gonna top stitch again. Make sure to give that inside fabric a little tug so it's not being mischievous. And then we do our top stitch. See? We've got our top stitch. Now this is what the zipper pouch looks like so far. We've got, it's kind of like a long sheet with a zipper in the middle. And then we've got our inside. I know it may seem like it seems like there's a lot more to do, but trust me, we are almost done. This next step is we're going to sew everything together. So what we want to do first is we want to unzip the zipper at least halfway. This is a very important part because that's going to allow us to turn the pouch right side out. So don't forget to do that or you'll have to take out your stitches and redo it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the outside part of the zipper pouch and we're going to put them right sides together, just like that. Line up the edges. Like that, and I'm just going to throw a few clips in here to hold them together. Like that. And then we're going to come down here to our inside part of our pouch and we're going to do the exact same thing. They are right sides together. I'm going to line up those corners. And we'll throw a couple clips in to hold them in place. Next, I'm going to focus on the zippers. So we're going to look at the zipper in there. And I want the zipper pieces to be pointing towards the inside of the bag. So see those little flaps of the zipper? We want those both pointing towards the inside of the bag, and I'm going to put those together, pinch them together, and then I'm going to clip right there so they're held in place. Then I'm going to come over to the other side of the zipper, and I'm also going to take the zipper and kind of push it towards the inside of the bag and pinch. That's going to be a little bulky for your sewing machine to sew through, but if you take it nice and slow, it'll be okay. And then I'm going to, if I can reach that clip, I'm going to clip that in place. So that's going to hold it in place. Now what we do is we are going to stitch. We're going to stitch all the way around the entire circumference of this zipper pouch unit. We are also going to make sure we leave a opening of about 3 inches down here in the middle of the inside of the bag. You want to leave that open. So we're going to start about here, go all the way around, and stop about 3 inches away from those first stitches. So let's go do that. And there we go. Perfect. All right, now you have two different options for this pouch now. You can be done. You can just flip it out. I will actually show you what it looks like right now. You've got a nice little pouch. It's pretty cute. You could actually even add a long strap onto this and it could be a little crossbody bag. That's pretty cute. So you just open up the zipper the rest of the way and there's your pouch. You would need to close up that opening, which I will show you how to do in a little bit. But yeah, you could just finish the bag here. And that is super cute. but I am going to show you the next step on how to make this bag more like this one, where it can sit on its own, because right now it cannot sit on its own. So let's go back over to my cutting mat and I'll show you how to do this next step. Okay, now we have our pouch. It's all stitched, and this is the next and final step, basically. So we are going to cut out notches from each one of the 4 corners, and that's going to give us that nice boxy base that we want. So I'm going to take my ruler and I am going to cut out, let's see, we're going to do a 2.5 inch square cutout. Now I like to use a marker of some kind or a pen and mark it and then cut it with my scissors for this part, because if you accidentally cut a little too far with a rotary cutter, then it just looks sloppy and it's not as precise as it could be with scissors. So I'm just going to use this marker real quick and I'm going to mark a 2.5 inch square there. And then I'm going to come up here and do 2.5 inches. I'm just going to use my scissors and cut out these little notches. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. It's got the notches cut out on either side. Now with each corner, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the piece. We're going to grab this corner right here and this corner right here, and we're going to pull them like that. And then we are going to create a straight line like that. Let me do that again so you can see what's going on. There's the notch that we cut out. Grabbing those and just pulling them apart and creating a straight line. And there I'm going to clip just to hold those pieces in place. And there's one corner is prepped. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other 3. All right, now we are at the sewing machine with our little pouch. Now we just need to stitch up these open gaps that we created. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it one corner at a time. So we have our fabrics like that. So it's a straight line, and I'm just going to stitch across that straight line using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're going to back stitch at the beginning and at the end to make sure those are nice and secure. So I'm going to place this under my needle. And there we have it. There is one corner done. I'm going to do the same thing to the other 3. There we go. Now we can turn it right side out. So let's do that. I've got that opening on the inside, so I'm just gonna work my hand through, and I'm just gonna grab the base of the outer portions and just kind of pull them through. That's the easiest way to do it. Just pushing pushing that out. Just use your finger to push out the corners. Oh my goodness, this looks so cute. Ah, look how cute the base looks. Oh my. All right. Now, before we completely finish, I am going to stitch this shut. Now, what I do is, since it's in the bottom of the zipper pouch, you're not really going to see it. I just do a top stitch. So here's the opening. I just kind of smooth out the fabric like that. And then I'm just going to top stitch along that entire opening. Make sure to back stitch. See? And that'll hold it securely. And then we're just going to push the inside of the bag down into the bag. And then I just take both of my hands and stick them in the bag and use my fingers to poke the corners into each corner. All right. And there is our finished pouch. How cute is that? I just love that. It's kind of like a little cone shape. The base is super cute. It's kind of like a square. And there you have it. That's how you make this cute little zipper pouch. See how those seams lined up and the quilting looks so good. And yeah, it looks so cute. Thank you so much for joining me on this little journey of making this zipper pouch. I just think this is so cute. I love the fabric and it's just perfect. This is great for like a little makeup bag or, you know, sewing tools bag, really whatever you want to use it for. So I might need to switch my washi tape and stuff over to this one just because it's just so cute. So if you found value from this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be doing all kinds of different super cute and fun sewing projects for beginners, and I'd like to do some more advanced stuff too because I enjoy challenging myself and figuring out new things. So thank you so much for watching today and have a great rest of your day.